After months of preparations, 2 weeks of rehearsals, and over 10 hours of live shows, our new Eurovision champions have been crowned. Ukraine's Kalush Orchestra were triumphant in Turin with their song Stefania, which becomes the first Eurovision winning song to feature rap. Kalush arrived home to a winner's welcome and have since auctioned their trophy to raise funds to help their country. But don't worry, the trophy makers will make sure they get a new one. Well, the final shreds of confetti have been swept away from the floor of the Pala Olimpico, and delegations have returned to their home countries, or maybe a sunny island somewhere, for a well-deserved break. Discussions are now underway with the EBU's Ukrainian member, UAPBC.
The EBU had looked into the possibility of hosting the contest in Ukraine, but regrettably, for safety and security reasons, concluded that it just wasn't possible. So because of Sam Ryder racing to second place with Spaceman, the BBC were invited by the EBU to act as host broadcaster for the 67th Eurovision Song Contest. The shows will have Ukrainian influence because representatives from UAPBC will work with the BBC on the show. And of course, because Kalush Orchestra won with that massive points total in Turin, Ukraine will automatically qualify for the grand final alongside the Big Five: France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and of course, the United Kingdom. Things are in good hands because the BBC has staged the Eurovision Song Contest more than any other broadcaster. They've put it on 8 times in total. London had hosting duties in 1960, 1963, 1968 and 1977. Edinburgh did it in 1972. It was Brighton in 1974 where ABBA won with Waterloo. In 1982, it was Harrogate. And finally, Birmingham, most recently in 1998, the stage where Dana International won with Diva. So, where next? The BBC is inviting UK cities to bid to host next year. As well as selling their vision for a fantastic contest, potential host cities are expected to show that they can meet a list of expectations. That includes a venue that can accommodate at least 10,000 spectators and a press centre, easy access to an international airport, and loads of hotels so it can welcome all the delegations and fans who want to come and enjoy the contest.
We are about to reveal some huge Eurovision news. Hello, Scott Mills.
Good morning, Zoe Ball.
The cities in the running to host in 2023 were revealed on the Zoe Ball Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2. The Eurovision Song Contest's executive supervisor, Martin Osterdahl, made a guest appearance and declared the host city bidding race...
We are good to go.
Yes! Thank you, Martin!
He said it!
Oh, he said those words.
The 5 other British cities of Birmingham, Leeds, Manchester, Newcastle and Sheffield were not successful in their bids. Host broadcaster, the BBC, said the 2 remaining cities, which both have arenas next to rivers, had the strongest overall offer, but there can be only one. It was revealed on the BBC's evening TV programme, The One Show, by legendary Eurovision Song Contest commentator Graham Norton.
Ooh, Graham. Oh.
Liverpool.
Now, Liverpool is a world-famous city and probably best known for being home to the so-called Fab Four. They are Eurovision legends Sonia, Jenny Frost from Precious,
now I need to be sure what's on your mind. Say it again.
and Chris and Gemma from Gemini.
Lied to me, baby. I'm just still being crazy, baby.
All right, okay. They are certainly a Eurovision Fab Four, but we of course mean the Beatles. Liverpool is a UNESCO City of Music, and for good reason. As well as George, Paul, John and Ringo, Merseyside has provided the world of pop with loads of famous acts. Just a few to mention: Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Cilla Black, Jerry and the Pacemakers, Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark, Echo and the Bunnymen, Dead or Alive, fronted by the great Pete Burns, The Lightning Seeds, Ladytron, Atomic Kitten and Sporty Spice herself, Melanie C. So we think Eurovision is in very good hands. Because Liverpool is hosting the contest on behalf of Ukraine, the city will be celebrating Ukrainian music and culture through a packed programme of events when the show comes to town in 2023. There's more. We also got our first look of the 2023 artwork and the theme of this year, United by Music. It demonstrates that unique partnership between the United Kingdom, Ukraine and the host city Liverpool to bring the Eurovision Song Contest alive to the world, and that incredible power that music has to bring communities together. And if that wasn't enough, we've also had our first glimpse at what the stage is going to look like in May. It's been designed by the incredible Julio Himede, who's worked on some huge shows like the EMAs and the Grammys. He's based this design on the principles of togetherness, celebration and community. And the stage takes inspiration from a great big hug, opening its arms to Ukraine, the show's performers and guests from around the world. Truly, it gives all the feels. But what is a stage without its artists? Rejoice, celebrate, clap your hands, sing it from the rooftops, because we have our first song. Heading to Liverpool with Heart of Steel is duo Tvorchi. Now, they won the Ukrainian national selection show Vidbir. The band is made up of friends Jeffrey and Andriy, who met while studying at university back in 2018. They have 4 albums to their name, loads of singles, and they will now follow our Eurovision 2022 champions Kalush Orchestra when they head to the United Kingdom, which is hosting on behalf of Ukraine next May.
Don't get what you say, don't get how you feel. Get out of my way, yes, I got a heart of steel.
Vidbir was hosted by 2 former Eurovision entrants for Ukraine. Zagoe's Katerina Pavlenko presented alongside 2013 singer Zlata Ognovich. Joining them was Eurovision 2017 host Timur Morishnichenko. It was broadcast live from a metro station in Kyiv, which doubled as a bomb shelter. Several iconic Ukrainian stars performed during the interval, including Eurovision 2016 winner Jamala, who thanked audiences for watching.
Thank you so much for watching us, for supporting us. It's really important for our days. From this basement, we are doing new music. We are showing our Ukraine, new Ukraine. Thank you so much.
You can re-watch Vidbir 2022 on the official UAPBC YouTube channel.
Hello Europe, I'm Gustav and I can't wait to perform for you at Eurovision 2023 in Liverpool.
Gustav, the man with the amazing hat, he won with his 90s inspired banger Because of You.
Remember when they tried to break us? Well, look at us now.
Gustav is a pro, and you might just recognise him as one of the singers who regularly performed with Hercules and Love Affair. But he has Eurovision history too, because in 2018 he was a backing singer for Scenic in Lisbon.
Brushing against the light, hold my hand and keep your eyes closed before it all echoes and falls. I suppose it's just a matter of time.
And then in 2021 he worked with Hooverphonic as the band's vocal coach.
All we did was fight.
forward to Gustav and his massive cowboy hat taking over the dance floors of Liverpool later this year. In Norway, it's congratulations to Alessandra and her song Queen of Kings, which won Melody Grand Prix. Born in Italy, Alessandra moved to Lillehammer when she was a teenager and competed on Norway's version of The Voice. The track has already blown up on Spotify and TikTok, much like Subwoofer's song last year. Speaking of which, the intergalactic duo appeared as an interval act on the night of the final to perform their new song Worst Kept Secret before revealing, well, their worst kept secret because, sadly, they are not space wolves from the moon. Turns out they are Norwegian pop star Gaute Ormesen and British boy band royalty Ben Adams from A1. And if you do want to know their full story, you know what to do. Head over to the podcast where we got one of their first exclusive interviews. Over 5 consecutive evenings earlier this month, Italians everywhere turned on to the 73rd Festival di Sanremo. The champion was Marco Mengoni, who took the trophy with his song Due Vite. He will represent Italy in Liverpool, but this is not his first time at the Eurovision Rodeo because he represented Italy 10 years ago, back in 2013, when the contest was in Malmo with the song L'Essenziale, finishing 7th overall. Can he climb the table, go a bit further, and take the title back to Italy again? Surely by now you will know who Käärijä is. The rapper, singer and songwriter stormed Finland's national final UMK with a decisive victory. He bagged over 500 points in the process. For him, it's all about mixing genres. His Eurovision entry, Cha Cha Cha, has it all. He fuses rap, electronica, metal and a bit of Schlager with an already iconic performance. There's ballroom dancing, there's a neon green bolero jacket, loads and loads of wooden pallets as well. The props team will be on the lookout for splinters, and he recently did one of his first ever English language interviews for the official Eurovision Song Contest podcast. You can go find it wherever you get your pods. Come on then, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you who is representing Sweden. It is 11 years since she won in Baku with Euphoria, seen by many as one of the defining moments of the contest ever. A champion is returning to the contest. Her appearance had been hyped at Melodifestivalen, but she delivered. Loreen will sing Tattoo in Liverpool, convincingly winning the Melfest final. the last decade, she has continued to experiment with pop. She's released Swedish language music and also turned her head to acting. But now, after a dynamic and fog-filled performance in Sweden, she is making that triumphant return to the Eurovision stage. I've already spoken to several of this year's acts on the podcast who say they will be totally starstruck to meet her and can't believe they are competing against her. Can she follow in the footsteps of Johnny Logan from Ireland and win the competition twice? Time will tell, and if you want to know what her most used app is, it's Keynote, she tells us. So if you ever need a killer slide deck in a hurry, you know who to call. Oh, and quickly, I spy with my little eye something beginning with R. Yeah, you did see that right. That is Eurovision commentator and Loreen mega fan Rylan making a cheeky cameo in her winners' parade. Right then, remember Turin 2022 and the three hosts? One of them was, of course, Mika. Well, let's go back even further to 2007 and Mika's music video for his smash hit Grace Kelly. That little girl in the green dress? None other than the United Kingdom's 2023 Eurovision star, singer-songwriter May Muller. She wrote her Eurovision entry I Wrote a Song with Brit Award-nominated songwriter Lewis Thompson and Karen Poole, who has written for the likes of Kylie Minogue, Lily Allen and David Guetta, as well as being a pop star herself. Back in the 1990s, she was a founding member of Alicia's Attic. May has been writing her own music since the age of 8 and was working at a pub as a teenager when she landed her first publishing deal. May's gone on to release 2 EPs, millions of views on YouTube and TikTok, 2 billion streams, and supported British girl group Little Mix on their stadium tour. She is used to performing on home turf, and as we mentioned, she is hoping to bring the house down in Liverpool.
Instead, I wrote a song about how you did me wrong. I could have cried at home and spent the night alone. Instead, I wrote a song. I feel much better now. Me and my girls are out and we all sing along. Instead, I wrote a song.
There may be 37 acts competing at this year's Eurovision Song Contest, but on top of that, there is a cast of thousands performing across Liverpool, in the city's clubs, on its streets, and of course on that stage. As you know, the semi-finals will be hosted by Alicia Dixon, Hannah Waddingham and Julia Sanina, with Graham Norton joining for the grand final. So when the first semi-final kicks off, it will be Ukraine's Julia Sanina taking to the stage with her band The Hard Kiss. In the interval, we've got British pop royalty Rita Ora. She will give us a medley of some of her biggest hits and her new single. Then it's 2010's Ukrainian representative Alusha performing alongside Liverpool's very own singer-songwriter Rebecca Ferguson. They will put their own take on Duran Duran's Ordinary World. The second semi-final will feature Music Unites Generations to showcase the best in Ukrainian music. Featuring as part of that will be Maria Yaremchuk, who represented Ukraine in 2014, and yes, she is the singer with the giant hamster wheel behind her. Not sure if she's bringing that to Liverpool or not. Let's find out. Alongside her will be rapper Otoy and Zlata Junka, who represented Ukraine at last year's Junior Eurovision Song Contest. They will be followed by 3 drag artists singing Be Who You Wanna Be. And then, deep breath, it's the big one, the grand final. Of course, we begin with the sensational flag parade. All 26 grand finalists alongside iconic performances from some Ukrainian Eurovision legends. So we will have Go A, the 2016 winner Jamala, Tina Karol, and the iconic silver-coated star Verka Serduchka. No grand final would be complete without the reigning champions, so we'll hear from Kalush Orchestra and also the United Kingdom's 2022 runner-up, Sam Ryder. This year's Eurovision has also been given the Royal Seal of Approval because the UK's King Charles and Queen Camilla have visited the Liverpool Arena. They've officially turned the lights on the main stage and also met the UK's entry Mae Muller. I wonder if she asked them what their favourite Eurovision entry of all time is. Hope so.
I'm feeling really excited. I think being here and being able to soak up the atmosphere, a few weeks before the big day, it really helps. I do think that Eurovision now, especially this year, that does feel like there's a shift in energy. I feel like people are taking it more seriously, and there just seems like a real exciting buzz.
And to top it all off, we will be treated to the Liverpool Songbook. 6 Eurovision stars performing the very best Scouse hits. Now, the songs remain a mystery for the moment, but I can tell you the artists. They are Mahmood, Netta, Cornelia Jacobs, Duncan Lawrence, Dathi Freya, who finally gets to perform live at a grand final, and everyone's favourite Scouser, Sonia. Whoever qualifies from the semi-finals will all be down to you. That's right, you and only you. It's going to be 100% a public vote rather than a combination of jury and public. The professional juries will still be there for the grand final though, but it is power to the people in the semis. Not just that, but the Eurovision voting is going global. For the first time ever, viewers from countries that don't compete in the contest will also be able to vote for their favourite songs too. The Eurovision Song Contest's executive supervisor, Martin Osterdahl, said throughout its history, the contest had constantly evolved to remain relevant and exciting. He said these changes acknowledge the immense popularity of the show by giving more power to the audience, wherever they are in the world. So those people watching globally will be able to vote via a secure online platform using a credit card from their country. The votes will be added together, converted into points, and they will be equal to one participating country in both the semi-finals and the grand final. So it'll be a case of 12 points from the rest of the world goes to...
Coming up on Eurovision, a little bit more.
To keep you happy and to satisfy your Eurovision fix from this year's artists before we get to Liverpool, we've got a big treat for you because Eurovision A Little Bit More is the hour-long showcase that features exclusive performances from the 2023 participants.
Promise me it's gonna be alright.
So the idea, we asked the class of 23 to send in reworked or remixed versions of their Eurovision entries. They could send an original song or do a cover version. And the results are incredible, and they've been introduced by a different star on YouTube every Friday in April. So you can find out who submitted a reggae version of their track, who covered ABBA, Miley Cyrus and Rammstein, and considering they might be performing alongside her, did anyone dare do an acoustic version of Loreen's Euphoria? Go have a look, go find out. There are nearly 70 exclusive performances in total. That is more than enough to keep you going for the next few weeks. They're all right here on our YouTube channel. Congratulations to Loreen, victorious for Sweden with her song Tattoo. She has made history, becoming the first woman to win the contest twice and bringing Sweden in line with Ireland as the country who has won the Eurovision Song Contest the most times. So the Magnificent Seven are 1974, ABBA with Waterloo. 1984, Harry's with Diggy Loo Diggy Lay. 1991, Carola with Fangad av en stormvind. 1999, Charlotte Nilsson with Take Me to Your Heaven.
Take me to your heaven. Hold on to a dream. Take me to your heaven.
2012, Loreen, Euphoria. 2015, Måns Zelmerlöw with Heroes. And now, 2023, Loreen again with Tattoo. We were first on the stage to interview Loreen after her win.
The only thing I feel right now is so much love and that fact that I'm thankful. My God. Not in my wildest dreams, man. Not in my wildest dreams did I think this was going to happen. There was so much screaming around me, it was crazy, you know? I was like, y'all got to stop screaming, okay? I'm meditating here.
How can you meditate?
You know, I'm trying to be calm, man. I mean, I've lived this performance for 6 months. Like, it's been my whole life. Building this with my team, I loved it. I loved every minute of it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for this. And remember, it was all for you. And I loved every moment of it. Thank you.
Loreen, two-time champion of the Eurovision Song Contest. Congratulations.
Thank you. You look amazing, by the way.
Loreen, thank you very much.
Thank you, darling.
A moment of history, a moment for Loreen, a moment for Sweden. Hot on the cha-cha heels of Loreen was Finland's Kaalia, who came second. He won the public televote following an incredible performance of his genre-blending metal rap schlager mashup banger, Cha-Cha-Cha. He also delivered Finland's second best result ever after Lordi's victory in 2006 and the most successful placing for a Finnish language song. And thanks to this being one of the most successful Eurovision Song Contests ever, both Loreen, Kaalia and a number of other participants in Liverpool have made their mark in the global charts, getting #1 and top 10 positions across the continent and beyond. 161 million people watched the 2023 contest on TV across Europe and beyond, and for the first time ever, viewers watching in non-participating countries could also cast their votes for their favourite songs. Votes were received from 144 countries in total. And outside the participating countries, viewers in the United States, Canada, Kosovo, Luxembourg, more on them later, New Zealand, Mexico, Hungary, Slovakia, the UAE, Turkey and Chile, who aired the competition live for the first time in over 50 years, cast the most votes.
It's crazy! It's party!
So that is it. We are into the Eurovision off-season, but there will be loads of Eurovision news, performances and content heading to our channels over the next few months. And there are loads of episodes of the official Eurovision Song Contest podcast to catch up on all the action from Liverpool, including that first winners interview with Loreen and a debrief episode. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok to stay entertained and up to date with all the latest news. See you in Sweden.